Coach, opening comments?
Uh, just excited to have the opportunity to represent our region for the sixth consecutive time. When it's again, I thought it was another year where we were able to really come together and play our best basketball at the right time, especially on the defensive end. I thought that, and I was laughing with our assistants earlier yesterday before practice because this year was so different in regards to the manner and how we won it. The last 5 seasons we've been a very flashy, up tempo offensive team, lots of high caliber shooting and things of those nature. And it wasn't pretty at times by any means, but I'm a believer in sometimes you have to win ugly in March. And we really hung our hat on our half court defense, especially the last 3 games. And I believe that's why we're still standing.
Any questions from the media?
Coach, what kind of magic did you work to come back and find a way to beat Boyd County? And I guess in what is the biggest game of the season after you had been able to do it the other times?
Yeah, like I said, we really doubled down on our defense and fighting to get consecutive stops. And once we really committed and bought into doing that, we became an elite defensive team at the right time. We had our matchups right. Our staff did a great job in preparation, especially going into that last game against Boyd County. And we've got guys that are just we got players that just they know how to win. And we got 4 football players in our starting lineup, which made us very physical and really tough. And that led to us making some big 50-50 plays down the stretch as well.
And it seems like that Xander Carter just has a seat at the state tournament. It seems like he's been there for forever now. Is he any kind of a different type player than what we've seen in the past this year?
He's done a lot to develop his game defensively, and he's also, because of his time that he's invested in the weight room, he's also a lot bouncier. He gets up off the floor extremely quick, which has helped him in his rim attacks. He's still continuing to develop his outside shot, but Xander's just he's a winner, and like I said, he made leaps and bounds with his game defensively. In the region semifinal game against Fleming County, we matched him up on Adam Hargett, who was our region player of the year, and he held him to 4 points. And Xander's the type of guy that will assign him with the toughest defensive responsibility, and he still goes out and finds a way to get you 25 points. An interesting stat on Xander: he played 64 minutes in the final 2 games of the regional tournament and only turned the ball over 1 time. Wow. So, just incredible. He's never going to do anything to hurt you on the floor. He's a tremendous leader, and he helps keep our guys connected in the locker room as well. So you're talking about a guy that just does a lot of different things for us.
Coach, talk about your matchup with Lyon County and what it's going to take to slow down Travis Perry and move on to the next round.
I think it might require me putting 6 players on the floor. No, they're an elite team, especially in transition, which is nothing different than what we've seen this year. If you look at our schedule, we've gone out and played the best teams across the state to prepare us for this moment. So this is nothing new to us. However, they've got pieces around him, and while what they do offensively isn't really different from things that we've seen this year, what they do on the defensive side of the ball is very different than what we've seen this year, with their various zone pressures. And they have a tremendous ability to rebound the basketball. They're averaging 40 rebounds a game. That's number 1 in the state. So they just do a lot of things really well, and they do a really good job of capitalizing on your mistakes. So, when you talk about game preparation, I think number 1 is transition defense. You got to get back, and you have to locate guys immediately. And then offensively, we have to be smart with the basketball. And I think when you talk about transition defense, the first component of that is your shot selection. We have to make sure we're taking the right shots to make sure we're not letting them get behind us in transition. it's going to be extremely tough. They're a very, very good basketball team. They know how to play physical. They know how to play fast, and they're well coached. And it's a group that's played together for a very long time. So we are very, very excited for the challenge. I know that Rupp Arena, the atmosphere for that 1:30 game is going to be awesome. And just really, really excited for the opportunity, like I said, to represent our region in that particular matchup.
When you talk about those good teams you play, Great Crossing is one that you've also played. A lot of people consider them maybe the team to beat in the state. How good are they from what you remember? Because I know it's been a while since you played them.
Well, I mean, they're both very good, and at the same time, talking about Great Crossing, they hurt you at all three levels offensively. They can shoot it, they can pull up, and they have an elite back to the basket player in Malachi Moreno. So that's one of those games where you just have to decide, what are we going to try to take away, and you got to live with everything else. And that's a team where you're going to have to hit shots against to stay in it. I think the difference between them and Lyon County, I just like I said earlier, I think Lyon County is just elite in transition. And we've seen teams that play fast, but they're very efficient at scoring very early in the possession, and the way that they play defensively, it speeds people up, it turns you over, or it forces you to take a bad shot. So both very, very high caliber opponents, but kind of different in the way that they play the game. But like I said, we've gone out and played the best across the state this season to prepare us for this moment. And I know that our guys are chomping at the bit for the opportunity.
Okay. Any final questions for Coach Bonner? Okay, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for taking the time, and good luck on Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have the winners of Region 15, the Magoffin County Hornets, and Coach Scott Castle. Coach, opening remarks. Coach, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect, we got you.
All right. Just want to say that we're pleased and excited to be making our first ever state appearance, Sweet 16 boys state tournament. Just looking forward to the experience, something that these kids will never forget, lifetime memories, and just looking forward to a great tournament.
Questions from the media?
Can I record this?
Yes, just send a recording link or a request and we'll approve that.
How do I send the request?
Well, we can chat about it if you want.
Okay.
Just shoot a chat over. Any questions from the media?
Scott, what's it been like the last few days for you guys there?
Well, it's been extremely busy. We've had so many people reach out in the community. The support of our community has just been overwhelming. Currently, the kids are doing tours at the elementary schools, the middle school, stopping by the nursing home today. It's just been a really busy past a week for us, the basketball team, and really an exciting time in the community.
For somebody like me that hadn't seen Barnett play, can you just describe a little bit about him? I mean, to be a prolific scorer like that, what makes him so good?
Well, he has the strength in the body to take contact when he gets to the basket, and he can finish through contact. He's just, he's not one dimensional. I mean, he can play with his back to the basket. He's great in transition. He can shoot the three consistently. He's just an overall rounded player, and just a true competitor.
What's the team spirit like going into this, having never been there before?
Well, it's winning the regional tournament has healed a lot of emotions. We've been so close in the past when Coach Danny Adams was the coach in '84, lost on on a last second shot at Bergie. 95 got beat by Johnson Central. 96, Paintsville beat a very good Magoffin County basketball team by 3, and Paintsville went on to win the state championship that year. So it's this victory, number one, a lot of the older generation did not feel that they would ever see a Magoffin County boys team make the state tournament. And so it's very emotional, not only for that older generation, but, just the whole community. So much excitement. I mean, I can't, words really couldn't describe the excitement that's in Magoffin County right now.
Are you at all nervous about how the team will kind of respond to being in a bigger atmosphere, having never been there before?
No, I don't think so. I think that, whenever we made the regional tournament, I think that if they were afraid of the spotlight, we're fortunate enough to, we've got the best fans in the state. I mean, they traveled with us to the regional tournament. We were put in positions in the regional tournament that, maybe we could have avoided the stage that we were on at that time. I thought that our kids was probably the loosest team in the tournament. We played with confidence. So I'm hoping that carries over to us playing there at Rupp on Wednesday. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt that we're going to have the hugest crowd there on Wednesday. So hopefully all that carries over and we're able to come out with a win and advance to Friday's game.
And your first matchup, Perry Central, Carter is your nephew, correct?
Carter is my nephew. That's correct.
So how weird is that kind of coaching against him with so much on the line for both you and him?
Well, I mean, it's another game for us. I'm sure that they're looking at it the same way. I talk to my twin brother every day, and we really don't discuss it. It's like I told someone earlier today, whatever happens in this game, I'm already proud of the kids, but win or lose, my guess is in about 2 weeks, we're probably going to be on a boat somewhere fishing and we'll have plenty of time to gouge each other at that point. But, our main focus at this time is to go down and play the way that we're capable of playing and hopefully we're able to win the game and I'll gouge my brother and Carter a little bit, but it's all in love and fun and it's just about advancing to the next game.
So did they gouge you after the regular season game?
A little bit. I told someone earlier I thought that maybe we delivered a Christmas gift early to him. We had that game won the last 3.5 minutes and just kind of fell apart as a team by not taking care and valuing possession of the basketball. So I'm looking forward to a good contest. Especially if we come out and play like we've been playing here the last 4 or 5 games. Take nothing away from them. They're a really well coached team. Shannon Hoskins has been there 11 years. He does a phenomenal job. And we know that we have our work cut out and that we're going to have to play our best basketball to advance.
What's
Okay, with that,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. One final question. Go ahead, Audrey.
What's different about this team, this Magoffin County team now than in that game against Perry Central in December?
Well, I think early on in the season, we were one-dimensional. With Aiden Barnett was primary focus for everyone. And, we always kind of took a back seat to other players did to Aiden's ability. As we come down to the close of the season and preparing for the district tournament and the regional tournament, the biggest thing I believe is the fact that, number one, we started trusting each other, especially the senior leadership of Aiden. You started trusting teammates, you got them involved, and defensively, I think that we've grown so much over the season defensively that not only do we have one player playing defense, but throughout the regional tournament, we had several kids that really played lockdown defense, and we all rebounded the basketball. And, when you put all those factors together, you could just see so much confidence from each player, just kept getting better and better and better. So we're looking and hoping that confidence carries over to the state tournament. And, I'd really like to be playing Friday morning at 11 o'clock.
Okay, Coach, with that, we'll let you go. Thanks for taking the time to join us, and good luck on Wednesday.
All right. Thank you all, and go Hornets.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have Region 14 champions, the Perry County Central Commodores, and head coach Shannon Hoskins. Coach, opening comments? Coach, you're on mute, I believe.
Can you hear me?
We've got you.
Okay. We're excited to be here. It's a place we wasn't sure that we were going to be throughout the season. We had 2 or 3 teams in our region that we felt like were the front runners, and we wasn't a part of that, but I guess we just put it together at the right time.
Okay. Questions from the media?
Your team made it to Rupp not too long ago, I believe 2022. Does it help having some kids that have been there before and kind of know how to handle the pressure of these win or go home games?
Off of that team, we have 2 kids that were on that basketball team, and they remember it very well. And we've talked about it. Carter Castle and Trayton Woods talked about it in depth. How it would be different this time and their roles would be different and all that. But I think to answer your question, that it does make a difference. They know what they're going for. They know what they're shooting for. So it helps our team in that aspect.
What are some of those things that Carter has said and what the vets have said about what's different this time? Is there anything specific?
Well, I don't know that there's anything different as far as the trip is just going to be different in their roles. That they know what's on their shoulders and what they're going to have to do to try to take on a very good McGoffin County team that's well coached and ready to go.
Yeah, talk about that McGoffin matchup a little bit. How cool is it that 2 Eastern Kentucky teams are meeting each other in the big city?
Well, you never want to meet another, or at least from our standpoint, another Eastern Kentucky team, and that because you want to see it, all of our guys down this way advance, and only one can advance from that point. But we know they're a great team, led by Aiden Barnett, who is a fantastic player, and we've got our hands full.
Hey, Shannon, is it more special when you go to Rupp as a district runner-up because it's more kind of unexpected? Does that change anything?
I think this is probably my most special trip. We went 4 times since I've been here, and this is by far my most special because I, honest to God, did not think we would be here. When you're in that position, I think it is more special because your kids, they just lay it all on the line for you, and they work and they scrap, and something great comes out of it. And as a coach, that's what you want to see, the work pay off for the young men.
You guys beat McGoffin at the beginning of the season, and I asked Coach Castle this too, but how different is your team now than they were in that game?
Much different. Our start, it's different. There's a way we play, the style of play we've been playing as of late is different. There's a lot of differences in this game than the one we had back then.
What's your biggest concern with McGoffin? Just Aiden Barnett?
Well, I think that's where you start. He is a load. He's going to be hard to handle, hard to do anything with. But what I saw out of him, especially in the regional tournament, is he's making everybody else better. Those other guys are shooting the ball well, and he's getting them the ball in positions to score, and it's not just him scoring. So we've got our work cut out for us.
Any final questions for Coach Hoskins?
Hey, Shannon, this is Brian Milam. Just curious if you channel any Bobby Keith stories from the early 90s to your kids, because there was once or twice that he took a team that wasn't supposed to go and they still made it. And how do you channel, if you remember, your nerves as a player, especially in 1992, to some of these kids now?
I think that I always have a good Bobby Keith story on hand. Anytime I can and anytime I can relate that to these guys, we will do that. But as far as being a player, completely different in my eyes. I was calm and cool as a player. I'm tore all to pieces, coach. Completely different situation.
Okay, Coach, with that, we'll let you go. Congratulations on making it to Lexington and good luck this week.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have Region 13 champions, the Harlan County Black Bears, and head coach Kyle Jones. Coach, opening comments?
Just really excited for the opportunity for our kids to be able to play in, the state tournament. This is, it's often been referred to as the greatest show in hoops. And I really believe that. Been going to it since I was a young child with my dad and my family, and just really excited that some of our kids are going to get to showcase their talents on a big stage.
Questions from the media?
Well, obviously, Coach Trent's the guy that most of us know about and all. Kind of describe a little bit about him and what you think folks are going to see from him in the state.
Arguably, he's top three. I consider being his coach. I'm gonna say he's the best player in the state. You got a 6'7" kid that can play, can score at all three levels, and he's just super unselfish player. He lets the game come to himself. You never hardly ever see him force the action, and he just makes everyone better on the floor.
Kyle, for you, you continue a family tradition of getting to the state tournament. What does this feel like for you? And, does your dad say, hey, maybe this is what you can look forward to when you step on the court?
I've talked to him quite a bit. We share stuff all the time with each other about basketball. Of course, we've been doing it since I was a young child. And, he just told me to enjoy the moment. He said there's a lot of, great coaches and great players that never had the opportunity to go to the state tournament. And he's just told me to enjoy the moment, and that's what I'm going to do.
Coach, talk about the matchups with the defending state champions and what it's going to take to advance to the next round.
Yeah, I think, their record's very deceiving. I know the Unseld kid had been injured, at the first of the year. Obviously they're well coached and, bring back some experience, and, they're very athletic. They've got some size. I think it'd be important for us to get off, of course, to a good start. And then, we got to be able to match their intensity and be able to keep them off the boards.
Coach, what did your team learn from the Douglas loss in the middle of the season?
I felt like that was the turning point in our season. We lost to Pikeville and then Frederick Douglass back to back, and we'd only had 2 losses prior to that, and it just it's just kind of a reality check. We had to get back to the basics and get back to work and practice, and the kids was locked in, and we're not a one-man team. I mean, we've got some talented kids, and got a lot of mountain pride.
Hey, Coach, one of those other players besides Trent Maddox was Reggie. Do you have an update on his shooting hand?
He's been going to therapy. He's doing a lot better, and he's actually gonna practice with us today. So we're excited about that.
Other questions for Coach Jones?
Yeah, just talk about the emotions with the team. I think all of these kids are going to Rupp for the first time. I mean, I was there for your guys' win. Trent Noah was getting emotional. They were all emotional. What does this mean to them?
Well, it just means so much for, Eastern Kentucky kid to be able to, basketball's life in Kentucky, and, it's no different here. And, these kids are just super excited, and, that's all they've talked about, but we've kind of had to refocus, and, now we're geared up for the first round game. We know Warren Central is a really good basketball team, but we feel like we got a pretty good basketball team as well.
Any final questions for Coach Jones?
Coach, how many guys do you have that you feel really comfortable with when they take the 3-point shot that you think are going to make it? Looks like a ton.
Well, we kind of adjusted our offense some this year. We kind of play more 4 out, 1 in, or 5 out sometimes, and we give all 5 of those guys. We predominantly play 6 kids, and we feel confident any one of those kids can knock down shots.
Anything else from the media? All right, Coach Jones, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time this afternoon, and good luck this week.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have the champions from Region 12, the Pulaski County Maroons, and head coach John Fraley. Coach, opening comments?
Thankful to be back again, and looking forward to another fun week.
Questions?
Talk about the momentum of this team having back-to-back region titles, and you've been to Rupp before. How much does that play into the preparedness?
It does help that we were there last year, but we only returned one player that got to play. So as far as experience, not as much for the kids, but they have been there. It's not quite the culture shock and the rah-rah, it's always a big deal to go and you celebrate that in your community and have a big time with it. But also, I think our kids are trying to do more this year than just get there. So hopefully, we're going to carry some momentum, like you said, where we got there last year, and hopefully be able to go up there and make a little noise.
John, I know it was a pretty balanced region all year, and you never really thought that, or I never really heard that one team's going to be a cinch to get there and all like that. But it never seemed like your team always got an enormous amount of respect either. It's like I always kept hearing about who else might win. How satisfying kind of is it for your kids now to come out and show, yeah, we don't have many guys from last year, but we're still pretty good?
Yeah, it's kind of been the rallying cry all year. I think they picked us 8th or 7th in the region preseason, everywhere you looked. And because we've graduated a lot of kids in the last 2 years that went on to play college ball and have had a lot of success. But this group of kids had, they won 27 or 28 games at the JV level last year, and it had been a group that had played together for a long time. And then when you put Carson and Will with them, we were able to win some games people didn't think we were going to be able to win, and get on the run that we got into in the regional tournament. And it's been fun.
Coach, talk about
your thoughts on Trinity, if you would.
They're a really good basketball team. They are big and athletic. They run their stuff well. They seem to be pretty disciplined, and it's going to be a big task for us. But we've kind of had the attitude of why not us all year long. So we know we've got to keep them out of the lane, and we've got to contain their 3-point shooters and keep them off the glass, which I guess is true of a lot of games, but especially with them. They do a really good job of getting in the lane and making you drawing people and kicking it to the shooters, and then they go get it off the glass when they miss it. So we know we've got to box out, we've got to rebound, then we've got to take care of the basketball. So it's going to be a fun task. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Any final questions? Okay, Coach, we'll turn you loose. Thanks for your time today and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have the champions from Region 11, the Great Crossing Warhawks, and head coach Steve Page. Coach, opening comments? Coach, I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I thought you were going to unmute me, but anyway, obviously we're very excited to to be here. It's a fifth year school, so for us to be in the Sweet 16 just in our fifth year. We've had really two good seasons the last couple of years, so it's not anything we didn't expect or hope for, but still it's a a great pride thing for our entire community. To be able to do what we did this year, and we have a tough one Wednesday night, but we're hoping we can continue the great season we've had.
Steve, you feel going into the state now that any of the pressure is kind of off you guys, or is there even more pressure on you now because everybody keeps talking about you're the team to beat?
Yeah, I don't think I realized how much pressure we probably felt until that last shot went in, and I said, "Oh my God, we've done it." There, because I'm sure all you guys have seen how that finals ended up, but I don't. I told my kids all year long, let's get to Rupp Arena and then let's go have some fun. So I don't really think they are feeling any pressure. I know it's a mantra, but we're trying to take it one at a time. Not look past anything. We started the postseason where I told them, we've got a 9-step ladder, but we can't get to step 2 if we don't take care of step 1, and so on and so forth. So we've been able to been able to climb 5 steps so far. So Thursday night we're focused on that 6th step, and I don't really think they feel any pressure.
Can you just talk about that first match up there then?
Yeah. So Spencer has taken 1,800 shots on the year, 860 of them are threes. So we know we've got to be able to guard the 3-point line. 2 of the kids, Cox and Earhart, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right, have taken, I think, 535 of them. So those 2 are really, really good. Watched a lot of film, obviously, here the last couple of days and in preparation, but we're going to have to do a good job guarding the 3-point line. And probably more importantly, we played them last year in the King of the Bluegrass. They shot 32 threes. They're knock on wood here. Nobody's going to make 25 of those. So we've got to do a really good job of rebounding. What'll probably be long rebounds if they were to miss shots. But they're really, really good. I mean, they're if we aren't prepared to play, we're going to have a long night. But I've said it all year long. There's no game we're going to go into this week. There's no game we went into all season where we don't feel like if we bring our best, somebody else is going to have to do something pretty special to beat us.
We've both seen enough basketball to know when you've got a big guy like that, everybody's going to go at him.
Yep.
It's probably more magnified when you get into tournament time, right? So what do you tell Malachi about, foul troubles, being aggressive, but trying to stay out of the foul issues?
Yeah, we try not to use that word foul trouble. So luckily, not again, knock on wood here, he has not gotten really not had any foul issues. He's going to now the first game since we talked about it, but we know they're going to bring 3 or 4 people at him. I mean, you saw if you were at the Catholic game the other night, they brought and it's nothing new for him, but they brought 3 or 4 people and he kicked opposite and we got wide open looks. So he's very good at understanding. And the great thing about him, he could have cared less that he scored 11 points the other night because we won the game, and if he was a more selfish kid, he could have probably scored 20-some points and, but he's always about looking for that open man. And he does a really good job of defending at the rim without fouling. And it's always a little scary, in all honesty, when you play the region and you've got referees that sometimes haven't seen him. So it was good for us that we played in the King of the Bluegrass because we had the 6th and 7th region. You know, and now we're going to state, you know, you may have different guys that have, you know, may never seen him and know that if you see him more than once, you know, he does a really good job of not putting his hands on people, going to get the ball at the high point. So, you know, but they're big kid. Keaton Bear is really, really good, strong kid. You know, he's gonna challenge Malachi, and they will challenge us. Or we try, you know, our goal is to keep Malachi in the paint as much as we possibly can defensively. But when you got a team, we always look around when we do scout. Can we find one kid that doesn't shoot a lot of threes? And no matter the size, because we'll let Malachi guard you know, a guard all the way up to a center. Even though he's 7'1", he can guard out on the floor. So we look for that matchup that you know that he can guard, stay in the paint, and but Keaton Baird's going to challenge him. He's really good at getting to the rim. So Malachi's going to have to do a good job of going up straight because we like our team without Malachi, but we love him with Malachi, so we definitely want to keep him on the floor.
What's the biggest improvement you think he's made this year? Is it on that defensive end or is it with his passing ability?
He's played for us since he's in 8th grade. He's always been a great defender. So around the rim, he's always affected shots around the rim. He's, you know, his offensive skills have improved. It's tough for him because he is seeing double and triple teams. So, you know, those single matchups, he usually takes advantage of. He scores sometimes in the double teams. It's tough as 7'1" because, you know, he's tough to referee. You know, we feel like sometimes that, you know, that down there when he gets the double teams, you know, he probably has more turnovers than he would like to have because, you know, of those scenarios. But yeah, he does a great job passing out. But I would say offense, and we play him at the trail spot most of the time. So you look at his stats and you're going to think I'm crazy, but his shooting's actually improved a lot. He just is not, you know, you're 7'1", you're playing high school basketball. It's tough to, you know, I'd be crazy if I let him sit out there at the 3-point line and shoot threes all the time. But, you know, as he gets to college, he's got his jump shot's really, really developed. And just his overall offensive game. He's always been a great defender for us since the day he walked in as, you know, as an 8th grader.
Other questions for Coach Page? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Good luck
appreciate
this
it.
week.
Thank you.
I do not believe we have Region 10 Coach Souter on with us yet. We're a little bit ahead. So we'll just try to kind of wait and see if he joins us. All right, I think we have Coach Schauder from the Campbell County Camels who's now joined us of Region 10. Coach, we'll go ahead and start with you. Congratulations for advancing with some opening comments. We'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. We couldn't be more excited to join such a prestigious event as a Sweet 16. It's been since 2019 since we've been there, but really proud of our kids. From the beginning, they've bought into what we've kind of been teaching. It's just been a really awesome year because these are kids. I mean, I remember seeing them as little third graders at our little kids camp and talking about wanting to go to Rupp Arena. And it gets me a little bit emotional thinking about now those little third graders are going to get a chance to live out that dream.
Perfect. Questions from the media? Coach, go ahead and talk a little bit about your matchup with Newport on Thursday.
Yeah. Newport's a team we know well. I mean, a lot of our guys went to see them play this year, and I've seen a lot of the Newport players at our game. They're a tremendous team, 1 through 5, some really good players off the bench. They really present some challenges for us as far as the way they can defend. Like, I think they're like the 3rd ranked defensive team in the state. So there's that, the way they push out in transition. Coach Snap does an incredible job with those guys and the way they share the ball. There's not just one guy. I mean, Kenny's a star, Covington's a star. There's not one guy you can prepare for. You got to be ready for all of them. So it's going to be a situation where we're going to have to make some choices and take our best shot at it Thursday night.
I know some of our media members, your time slot was 2 o'clock, but are just getting back in there. Feel free to have questions for Coach. Go ahead. All right. Coach, I know that you said it's been since 2019 since you've been there. What's different about this team compared to the last couple of years that got you over the hump?
I think the way they play together, I mean, you ask any one of these kids, they don't care about who's scoring the ball. They just want to get the win on the scoreboard. And so when you don't care about who gets the credit or anything like that, I'm not saying the previous teams did, but this team's just taken that to another level as far as their unselfishness. They just get along so well. It's a joy to watch in practice. Sometimes in practice, I think they're goofing off too much because they like each other so much. But just the way they work together, they trust each other. I think that's been kind of like our secret sauce as far as advancing as far as we've had.
Talk a little bit about the region championship. Went to overtime and probably a lot of emotions, a lot of drama there too, but kind of how you guys prevailed in that.
So the whole year we've been talking about, it sounds crazy, but I've been using a Conan O'Brien quote of anything else, but act as if, like, whenever you're in a situation that's difficult or anything like that, just act as if it's completely normal. You're meant to be here, things like that. And when Harrison County made that run, they stayed the course. They acted as if, all right, they were going to make a run. This is how we're going to handle it. And so Harrison County took that lead, and that timeout before that 6 seconds, it was a calm timeout. Like they were all locked in. They were focused. And the best thing I said that whole timeout was on the way out. I was like, no matter what, Garen has to have the ball. And Garen got the ball and made a great move, had the presence of mind to make that second cross and hit that shot that sent us to state. That's a shot that I told him when I was hugging him. I was like, you're a Campbell County legend now. That's going to live in. And to do it in the field house, the 10th region tournament, that's the stuff of legends.
For sure. Be one you'll remember for a long time.
Sure.
Media, feel free to jump in at any point if anybody has questions. Coach, it looks like you've won about 12 in a row headed into Rupp Arena, and I got obviously momentum is a big part as you go into this week. Talk about how your team came together towards the end of the year to get such a winning streak going into Rupp.
I think it was mainly just the idea we had some illness, and I don't like excuse, but we had some illness in January and stuff like that. We got everybody healthy, and then just kind of it's like that snowball. It could be a little snowball. Once it gets pushed down the hill a little bit, it gets rolling and larger, and so we got that snowball rolling down the hill, and we're hoping it can go for a few more games here.
Great. We know some of the Northern Kentucky media is just now getting on, and so we're going to open that up. Feel free to unmute yourselves and ask questions of Coach. Go ahead, James.
All right, sorry. Yeah, uh, yeah, Coach, just James White from the choir, just just talk about just in your in your first year here, getting the program back to this tournament after a few years.
Yeah, Coach Russell, I worked with under Coach Eric Russell from 2014 to last year, and when the foundation is solid, the house will stand. And he built the foundation solid, and we're just, I mean, of course, I put my own little tweaks on things and some changes here and there, but it's really been a smooth transition, and I just can't thank the Campbell County administration enough for putting that trust in me to carry that on. But like I was saying yesterday at a banquet where Coach Russell was being honored, like I just took so many mental notes from 2014 on about little things that he would do, and I'm just, all right, how would I handle this situation? Just putting myself in those situations about handling like a practice schedule or a game plan or a tweak in the game and things like that. And just learning from him, being able to do that, it's really helped me a lot this year. Kind of trying to continue to build on that foundation that was laid.
And some of your top players have been kind of under the radar and not starting to get noticed. Connor and Brock Sorghum, probably guys like that. So just kind of talk about them and what you expect from them in this week.
Yeah, Connor is averaging a double-double. He's somebody that he does a little bit of everything well. He can rebound, he's physical, he can shoot it from the out. I think he's shooting the three-pointer from over 40%. So Connor's a guy that we can count on to either be in the post or play outside a little bit. It's nice to have that type of versatility from your 5-man. And then Brock Sorghum Fry, we're super proud of him. I've told him all year that I know what he is, and he's going to show the state that what he is. And he can shoot the ball. He hit some huge shots for us in that region semifinal against GRC, and then the region final against Harrison County. We're down 2 in the fourth quarter. He comes out and hits a 3. So he has a knack for that big shot. So really proud of both those guys. And then I think we have a special point guard in Garen Jackson as well. He does a little bit of everything for us. And just really all the guys. I mean, Nate Smith got defensive our Mr. Hustle Award for Northern Kentucky. So we're really proud of all of them, the way they've stepped up in roles that they may not have had in the previous years, but they stepped in and filled the role this year.
Yeah, and I know you haven't played Newport this year, but you have a lot of history with them, and just talk about that matchup.
Oh yeah, Coach Snap does a tremendous job. I mean, it's a situation we're so close together. Our guys have went up to watch Newport play several times just because, I mean, they're fun to watch play. The way as hard as they play on the defensive end, what they can do on the offensive end. There's that experience of just watching those guys play. We know we're in for a tremendous challenge, but it's a challenge that we're excited to take on. And I know our kids and myself and the coaches have nothing but the highest regard for Newport and that program, because what they're doing or what they've been doing, it's tremendous.
Well, thanks, Coach. That's all I have. So,
Other questions for Coach Sauter? All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck this week. And we'll see you at Rupp Arena.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
For those of you on the call, I know we have Coach Snap on, but we are ahead. So we are going to take a quick break. If you need to get up, stretch, we are going to start his interview right at 2:09, 2:10, right on time. So feel free to we are going to take a quick break. All right, Coach Snap, did you get connected?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Good deal. I had to leave the classroom.
Well, again, so welcome back, and we want to thank you all for joining us and taking your time, and the media as well for taking the time. We're going to get started back here with the 9th region coach. My name is Sarah Breidenball, and I'm sure it's not who you expected to see, but we're going to have, we apologize. Jenny Elder in our office became ill, so there's going to be several of us kind of pitch hitting and helping moderate this media interviews. So again, we have Coach Rodney Snap from the 9th region champions, Newport Wildcats High School. Coach, just start with some opening comments, and then we'll allow the media to follow up with questions as well.
Well, we're happy to definitely be a part of it. I mean, we feel like our region is a very, very difficult, challenging region. You know, you got a lot of heavy hitters in there, and just to get out. I mean, I feel like sometimes it's about as tough as the state tournament with a Covcath and Cooper and Lloyd, and you know, Ryle was really tough this year. And so just to get out, I mean, was exciting for us. We weren't, you know, we go in hoping we can win, but you know, you got to put three really good games together to get that done in the 9th region.
Understood. Questions from the media for Coach Snap?
Coach, how's Talon?
Excuse me?
How is Talon? What's his status?
So we're gonna go over to Xavier and you know, we're gonna go over there and shoot and get a lot of shots up in a big arena. So I know after school he's gonna try to do a little running. It's a pulled hamstring. Of course, that's irritating and it's nagging. I mean, he wants to play probably as bad as anybody. I mean, the kid lives and breathes basketball. He's in the gym 7 days a week. He's in there nonstop. So for him to get, you know, put on a shelf is definitely tough for him. And for the coach as well. Of course, we love having him on the court. But he's going to get out and try to do a little run today. He hasn't done anything since since the Cooper game. Try to get out and run and get it loose. He's been checked out and make sure there wasn't any, you know, damage or tears or anything like that. So hopefully we get him out there running. I mean, and hopefully he's on the court Thursday.
Coach, obviously, you're a deep team. You can prove you can win without them. So if it comes down to that, how do you prepare for the week?
Well, what we've been doing right now in practice is we've been practicing as if he's not playing, and he'll just be a big bonus if he's, you know, gets cleared and he can run and he can play. So that'll just be a plus. You know, of course, we're getting ready for a really solid Campbell County. You know, like it's like a normal local game, to be honest. I mean, we're so close, playing a region right next to us. So definitely not taking them lightly by all means. Seeing them play, got a nice team, and coach does a really good job with them. You know, they really had to really fight and got challenged in their region as well. So right now we're just preparing for them and what they do and kind of what we want to do and how we want to play as well. And our approach is just Taylor not playing right now. I mean, since he hasn't practiced.
Yeah, I know we've talked a lot about your team, about the senior guards and then the two younger big guys who really helped you out this year. Just kind of go into that and what to expect from them.
We have two senior guards. Of course, DJ Jackson. He's a guard that can guard a 1 through a 5. He's a hard-nosed kid. He's a tough kid. You know, he just plays a great role. He's easy to coach. He's a great teammate. The one I was really, really impressed with in our region, especially in the finals against Cooper, was Jabari Covington. I mean, he really took a lot of ownership and leadership. He kept the two freshmen that were in the game. He kept them real poised and calm and was real patient with them instead of, you know, some guys will get mad and scream and yell and that. I mean, he stayed in their ear and kept them locked in, and he was super impressive just by his demeanor and the way he carried himself. And I think it really relaxed everybody, you know, throughout the whole game. He's been there. He was there last year. He hit the last second shot to win it last year. So he's got great experience. Two big guys, you know, you got James Turner, gained probably 12 to 14 pounds from last year. This year, He's slowly starting to become a big boy and play like one. I mean, he had to guard, Sean Pouncey, which is, a very difficult task. He stepped up for the challenge. He was boxing out and just, he's attacks the rim. He's a 6'8" stretch forward sophomore. He's only a sophomore. He's athletic. He's ultra competitive. Great kid, good student in school. I mean, so that helps when kids are like that. It helps you win. It helps you get prepared easier. It helps you, stay on task with what we're trying to do. Then you got, a freshman. He's nervous before every game. So I'm nervous every game we play. It doesn't matter. And it's he's really helped. 6'8", 6'9", lefty, freshman, Griffin Starks. Plays his role. As long as he plays his role, and you got to box out, and you got to guard this guy, or you may be a guy that's going to help on defense and maybe go trap, or he really kind of bought in for the most part. 90% of the time, he's bought in. He's done a really good job. I mean, he just does a lot of things you can't teach. He's a lefty. He can shoot the 3-ball, and the big thing is he hit 3 free throws after going 29% on the year. He hit 3 for 3 in a regional finals, which was huge. So I was real happy for him. The other freshman had to step up, came off the bench, was Amonte Lowe. Did a lot of really good things. Just a tough kid. He's ultra competitive. He plays football. He's a good football player. He just plays fearless, high motor, tough kid. Ball got loose on the floor. He's the first one to get on the floor. So he was a big plus. And then to round out everything was Sean Anderson. He's just one of those high motor kids, plays hard defense, does a lot of dirty work. So they all get along. They all get along well. They're not worried about scoring a lot of points. They're not worried about, they like to win, and they're starting to listen, and thank goodness some of the things that we've done as a coaching staff and in practice has worked. So now they're believing in it.
Coach, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Obviously, Coach, you have the. Go ahead, J-Pack.
Fine.
Wondering, you guys won the All-A Classic championship. There's only been one other team that's done that. Is that a thing? And how did that experience help you all prepare for this week?
I didn't know there was one. Was there one other team that's done that? Is it Shelby County?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, that's a little bit of pressure. But anyway, with the All-A, it was interesting. You had to get up, play at 8:30 in the morning for a game. That was definitely interesting. It was hard to get up and play in that game, and it was a big arena, which was kind of a quiet. It was different. I honestly think what helped us before that was the King of the Bluegrass, hitting some adversity, some situations with some heavy hitter teams, some really good teams. We took 2 buzzer beater losses in that, and we were up 16 against Trinity in the fourth quarter, and they really stepped it up, and they caused a lot of havoc and pressing, trapping us, and so I think games like that was huge. I also really liked the Lawrenceburg, Indiana tournament. That was a good tournament because it was a 2-day event, and we played 2 games in a day. So that was neat. I like that. I'm playing 2 games in a day. It was you kind of get your kids, you see how mentally tough they are. We played some pretty good teams out of Indiana that have had a really good run in their tournaments. So we try to set them up and try to keep them the schedule unpredictable for them, so things are different. We also did the All-A. We played Friday, we played Saturday, and then we turned around and went to the Dayton Flying the Hoops tournament on Sunday. So that's back to back to back. Just things that we're trying to do in case we hopefully get out of the region, which happens. So I'm hoping we're prepared for all that.
Hey, Ronnie, do you think it gives y'all any kind of an edge? Like when you played Great Crossing in Lyon County, you're the one team that's been able to kind of control them and can let your defense kind of dominate. When you get to the state tournament, I mean, your defense is normally going to be there. Sometimes teams have trouble making shots and doing different things. But if your defense, that can go with you. Does that give you an edge going into the week?
I hope so. I hope. But the thing is, you talk about, playing defense and being really tough defensively and having a really good game plan, all that. But you also got to stay out of foul trouble. And I told him you gotta, we got to figure out the officiating, how that's going to be. Not that it's bad by all means, but everybody's different, where they're going to let you play physical. They're going to let you, do this or do that. I mean, you just don't know. So we try to figure that out. And what we want to do is, that's why we try to be a little bit more patient offensively and try to, move the ball or maybe spread you out, kind of see what's going on, get a good feel, let the kids get comfortable. I know last year our worst shooting game of the year was at Rupp Arena. I mean, we shot, but credit to Lyon County too. They were really, really good. So this team's been more to where, we got to be more patient offensively. I know our first game against Ryle, we were just straight line. As soon as we got past score, we were just going hard to the rack. I said, that you can't win doing that. You just can't. You're not going to win. You're not going to beat the elite teams doing that. It's just not going to happen.
Final questions for Coach Snap.
I'm good.
I talk to Weber all the time. I just get.
Well,
I was going to
Coach,
ask you about the schedule. You already addressed that. So,
yeah, schedule was tough. I'm happy the way it's went. That's for sure. I mean, we've had some interesting games. That's fun. I like it.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at Rupp Arena.
All righty. Thanks a lot. See you guys.
No problem.
Yep.
All righty. Bye.
That will lead us into the Region 8 winner from Spencer County, the Spencer County Bears, and Coach Jason Burns. I know he was on earlier. Oh, yes, I see him. Yep. All right, Coach. So go ahead. Congratulations on winning the 8th region. Go ahead and start with some opening comments, and then we'll open it up to the media.
Yeah, thank you. Our school, our players, our community, we're excited. It's our first ever trip to the state tournament. So, excited to be there. We know we got a daunting task of opening up with number 1 Great Crossing. So we're looking forward to that challenge, and just, like I said, our school and community are really, really excited for the opportunity.
Questions from the media?
Jason, just curious, how many fans you think you're going to have in Rupp Arena?
Ooh, man, I don't know. I know people bought tickets Tuesday night after we'd won, so it's really cool. We our community actually had a lot of people donate to the school as far as trying to get all of our students there. So we pretty much got it where any one of our kids that want to go to the game are going for free. Bus, feeding them, and getting their tickets. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd say at least, 500-600 students at least would be there, and every person I know in the community is going to be there. So it'll be a lot.
Does that put pressure on you guys, or is that a big help, you think?
It's a big help. And to be fair, we've had a lot of support all year. Our gyms have been packed, and playing at King of Bluegrass, we had one of the bigger crowds, the last couple of years, last year and this year. And the same thing at the regional tournament. I mean, we packed Henry County, so no, I don't think it's any more pressure. Like I said, it's just people are beyond excited. So they've shown support all year, and they're showing support for this one.
Coach, tough region for you guys, obviously. Did you think this was going to be a possibility this year, or did you believe it could happen, or you kind of?
Yeah, we did. We lost 2 seniors last year and brought our core guys back. Our leading scorers, Cam Cox and Luke Earhart, both came back, and that was big in our scheduling the last 2 years as well. Playing in the King of Bluegrass 2 years in a row, we knew we had a shot. We were just kind of getting there and just never could quite get over the hump. Even in our district's brutal, so we knew, get out of our district, you got a chance for anything. So but no, we got off to a little bit of a rocky start at the beginning of the year, but a lot of that was our schedule, and we just, we knew we were better than we were playing. And then we've picked it up since then, since Christmas break. Basically, we've stepped up our defense and rebounding, and heck, I don't know what it is. I think we've won 18 of our last 19. So we knew we had a shot. We were feeling pretty good going into this district tournament. So got an experienced group. We have 6 seniors, so we've been in all those type of situations. So.
You talk a little bit about your opening round matchup. Obviously, you got a tough draw. What do you guys need to do to stop them, and what you need to do to succeed?
Well, if any of our guys actually last year in the King of the Bluegrass, and we had a really, really bad second quarter. But we like to push it, and we know we like to shoot the three, and we want to space them out, which is they know that as well. But we're gonna have to be able to rebound. We're gonna have to be able to keep him off the glass. I mean, Moreno's gonna get his stuff. We tell our kids he's gonna have some thunder dunks on us. But we just gotta keep playing and keep our pace, and we know we're gonna have to shoot the ball well. I mean, that's which we're capable of, and we got a team that shoots the ball well. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, our pace and being on a rebound, we're gonna have to get some good breaks. We know that, but just defense and rebounding like we have just this second half of the season is the key.
Jason, how good is Moreno defensively? How much does he impact the game defensively?
Well, a lot. And it's, and we even talked about that when we played him last year. It's just that you kind of almost don't know. You can't, we can't simulate that in practice, and heck, even the regional championship game, kid cuts back door thinks he has a layup, and he comes from the 3-point line and blocks it. It's just, I mean, he's way more athletic than I think he gets credit for. And he's, obviously tall, and, I mean, he affects a lot. He affects even from the perimeter. It's not you can't just blow by him or get easy shots against him outside. Sometimes that happens with big guys. They can't do anything but play in the paint, and he can come out. So yeah, I mean, it changes a lot. We've kind of had some success kind of over our tournament run of getting to the rim. And everybody wants to think we shoot threes, and we're able to get to the basket, and obviously that's going to be a little bit harder with him in there. So yeah, it affects a lot. He changes the game, that's for sure.
Coach, you referenced first time for your school and your program. I mean, have you guys been kind of overwhelmed by the community support at this point?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Man, we had about 150 cars follow us Tuesday night from the regional championship back to school, and Wednesday was we gave everybody off and just tried to kind of take a deep breath and take it in a little bit. And our kids have been going to the elementary schools for some Colorado Elementary, and everybody wants them. We've had a couple team dinners, and so we this weekend we really tried to hopefully kind of just say, hey, look, let's just try to make this back to as normal as possible, and just make this. It's just another basketball game. As hard as that is to to sell.
Yeah.
But no, it's been exciting. We have so much support and people wanting to help, and parades and all that kind of stuff they want to do, which is great. But I think our kids are finally kind of locked into what we need to do. So.
Open it up here. One last question for Coach before we send him on his way. I know he's got stuff to do. All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Best of luck to you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Up next, we'll have the champions from Region 7, Trinity Louisville. I do think we have Coach Saxton on here. Coach, if you don't mind, maybe opening statement, talk about your team a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Hey, guys. Coach Brett Saxton here. Thanks so much for inviting me on this Zoom. Very proud to represent Trinity, this team, our school, having played here in the Sweet 16 years and years ago. I know just how special and what an honor it is to be here. And we truly feel like this is the best state tournament in the country. And so we're humbled to represent the 7th region. I've tried to emphasize that with our guys all week. And we feel like with the balance that we've had in terms of production, the difficult nature of our schedule, and just our ability to be successful playing multiple styles, that with a few good practices this week, we feel like we'll be ready to go on Thursday. And just in closing, it's been difficult this season with Coach Szabo's absence has been a challenge. I'm proud of our guys, our team, our staff for their resiliency. That being said, out of respect for his family's wishes for privacy, that's the last comment that I'll make on Coach Szabo, just out of respect for his family's wishes. And hopefully we can all appreciate and understand that, please. And now I'm happy to take questions on our team moving forward this week and how we're preparing for a game Thursday against a really good Pulaski County team.
Media, help yourself to unmute and ask any questions you want. Before that happens, Coach, you want to talk about your matchup a little bit?
Yeah, so Trinity in the 12th region has some history. And I remember watching my little brother on the 2012 state championship team. One of their most difficult games was against the team from the 12th region. And they're well coached, they're physical, and they've got some guys that can flat out stroke it. There's some guys that can really shoot the basketball. So we know we're in for a great opening round game that should be exciting. So hopefully we'll be ready to meet that challenge.
What are some keys for you all to have success this week? What do you all need to do to advance in this tournament?
Yeah. So for us, I think number one is just continuing to play unselfish. And when you have a team that's talented, with 5 guys that all feel like they can score and do things to help impact the game positively, your constant challenge is getting them to sort of buy into the approach that a good shot isn't necessarily our best shot. And that's a tough lesson for 16, 17, 18-year-old guys to sort of buy into, and to our team, to a testament to these guys that they have. And they've sort of, especially this last 2 or 3 weeks, they've really sort of bought into this mentality of an open shot isn't necessarily the best shot. If we can make 2 or 3 more passes and get a really, really, really good shot, that's what we want to do. So I certainly think that's a key moving forward for us this week. And then, of course, our identity has always been defense and being able to guard in the half court. And so that'll be a key. We know that when we get here, every team is really good and every team will pose threats, whether that's from the perimeter, what they're able to do in the paint. And so we've got to be able to, as a staff, as well as a team, be able to focus in on game-specific planning and how we want to approach in-game details and how we want to guard specific players and tendencies and nuances, really. Just the little things that we know will separate us in a close game late, where every possession is going to be valuable.
Coach, you made reference to it earlier, but with everything that was going on, how were you all able to buy in and kind of stay on focus this year and take care of business?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And what I think what's been so important is really what makes Trinity such a special place. And so for our guys to understand that, this is bigger than just us, whether it's the Sweet 16 that's been the premier basketball event here in Kentucky for years and years and years, to Trinity itself as a school, as a family, as a culture, as a community, whether it's the alumni base, the faculty and staff. I think that level of support has made it easier from then just a basketball standpoint of, hey, this is about Trinity, and this is about the guys before you, the people before you, that have made this possible for us. And so we've kind of felt that sense of spirit, of community, of family. And I think that's what we've relied on, especially in moments this season when it hasn't been easy. And we've been asked to overcome some adversity.
Sure, sure. I don't want to monopolize the call. Certainly help yourself to unmute and ask any questions you might have for Coach.
My opening was that good, huh?
I think you covered it all, maybe. Yeah. I mean, well, Coach, barring any questions, I don't want to hold you up. I can certainly cut you loose and get back to business. Best of luck to you this coming week, and take care.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, everyone. We're about 5 minutes early for the next one, so we'll take a short break. Give Coach Miller time to join, and we will be back momentarily.
Yeah, I'm here. I logged in under, I'm here whenever you need. I'm under Coach Jones's login here.
Gotcha, Coach. I'll be right back, and we'll get started at about 2:38, 2:39.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. We'll go ahead and pick this back up. Coach Miller, if you wouldn't mind, lead us off with an opening statement. Tell us a little bit about your team.
Well, we're really happy to be in the state tournament, have a very experienced team, and that of the 6 or 7 guys, 4 of them have been with me for 3 years. Other couple have been with me for 2 years, and only one is their first year, and have really bought in, I would say, to what we're doing starting after the All-A state tournament. We won the All-A last year, and we really didn't play well after that. We really didn't play well this summer. We really didn't play well until we lost to Newport in the All-A championship, and it seemed like we found something after that. So since then, our defensive efforts have been really good. I've got 2 exceptional guards in Kyron Tilley and Christian Dorr. I've got an exceptional defender in Isaiah Chipla that has really been really good for us this year, defending the best player on the other team. And we've got a couple inside guys, Johnny Gemma and Ben McCarty, who have filled roles for us pretty well. And then we've got a freshman, Davier White, that's also improving as the year's gone on. And we have Brandon Trice, who comes off the bench at guard. So we're basically a 7-man team with Andy Jimenez Conway coming off the bench shooting pretty well for us at times. So we basically play 8, but I'm really happy with this, what this team has accomplished through the All-A tournament and what they did in the district and regional.
Coach, first state appearance for your program. What does that mean for you guys?
Means a lot, and I'm very happy for the people at the school, and I'm very happy for the young men who have worked so hard to be a part of this, and worked hard in the weight room, worked hard in conditioning, worked hard in practice, and they're very deserving of the opportunity. I thought we really had a team as good last year. We had Sierra Malanga that's started for East Carolina at the end of the year this year, but we just got to give the sales credit. We laid an egg in the regional and got beat by 4 points. I felt like last year we had a great opportunity, but sometimes you got to knock on the door 3 or 4 times before it opens, and that's kind of where we're at going into this year.
Tell us a little bit about your matchup coming up in the first round. Have you had a chance to scout them much? Your impressions?
Butler County is an excellent team. I know Ty Price gets a lot of publicity, and justifiably so, but the other 4 starters can all handle the ball. They can all shoot well. Everybody shoots above 35% from 3-point range. So it's certainly going to be a challenge. And normally we try to speed teams up. In this case, they will try to speed us up, I predict, because they play at extremely high pace, extremely fast tempo. They played well against some great teams. They played a really good schedule. Played St. X, a 3-point game, played Warren Central, a game where they led for most of the game. Warren Central came from behind to nip them at the buzzer, but it's certainly going to be a big challenge.
Hey, Coach, what impresses you the most about Ty Price?
The fact that he can get his own shot, and he's just an excellent ball handler. He's got a very quick release. Probably does as good a job as creating his own shot as anybody I've seen in a long time. And his conditioning is superior. Their team's conditioning is superior. Coach only plays 5 guys most of the time. 6th guy coming off the bench, 7th guy, they average less than 2 points a game. So that's a tribute to what great shape he has gotten them in. And it's hard to get kids like I want my team to run. It's hard to get teams to run. It takes tremendous discipline. It takes tremendous conditioning, and we still don't push the ball near as fast as I would like to push it. And so for him to get his kids to average this many points and push the ball, and it doesn't really matter if you press them; they just go right through the press. So it's they create some real challenges, and of course Ty is the leader of that, and his conditioning has to be in the top 99 to 100% of all the basketball players out there, because he does not get tired. he's as good at the end of the game as he is at the beginning, and he's been chased and by everybody. He's everybody's top target out there, and he's still able to play and make plays at the end of the games. He's a tremendous player.
Thank you.
Coach, I know your kids have played in some big games. What do you tell them going into Rupp Arena for the first time?
Well, we played a lot of big games, and we got a lot of games on big floors. Went down and played Adair County. Coach invited us to come down there to play, so we were able to play on Coach Bree's invite. So we were able to play down there. We played at the Sports Center. We played at Bowling Green High last week or last week of the regular season, and of course we played in the All-A Classic, and we also played in Jefferson City, Missouri. So we've had a lot of games on big floors. So that has helped us in the fact that we've been able, including our regional, the fact that we've been able to play a lot of games on big floors. I think that helps us and should negate some of that. I know for the first time, it's basically a lot of us is first time up there. So hopefully we won't, the fact that we've had a lot of experience on big floors and in All-A state championship 2 years ago, got to the finals this year. I think that's equipped us to deal with it also.
Floor is open. Any questions for Coach? Otherwise, I'll send him on his way. Let him get back to work. All right, Coach. Best of luck this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
You too. All right, coming up next, we have the champions of Region 5 Adair County. Coach Breeze, thanks for joining us. I know you've been on the call for a while, so turn the floor over to you. Opening statement.
Yes, can everybody hear me clearly?
Sir.
All right, thank you. As you said, we're champions of the 5th region. We're excited to represent the 5th region here in Lexington this week. 5th region this year, kind of one of the most balanced it had been in a while. It's kind of senior dominated. We play 8 guys coming into Rupp Arena this week, and 7 of our guys are juniors or sophomores. We have 1 senior who comes off the bench for us. So, a lot of the talk around, thought we had a shot at it this year, but then, wait till next year, we'll probably be the favorite. But as most coaches know, you can't wait. You never can count what's going to happen the following year. So it's kind of a relief to get it done this year because, it's something we've been trying for, and we came close over the last couple of years. So, going into next year, we won't have that pressure on us. Even if we fail next year, these kids did win a regional title in their career. Very few can say that. We're focused getting to the tournament and playing. One thing we did, one of our starters most of the year, Dawson Gilbert, he was out he had a freak Achilles injury in PE class the day before the district tournament finals, but he's back. He will be back for the state tournament. He missed district championship and region. He'll come off the bench, but he's one of our better shooters. And the way Marshall County plays defense, we're going to have to be able to hit shots.
You mentioned Marshall County. Tell us a little bit about the matchup, what you need to do to have some success, and what you need to do to stop them, I guess.
I'm not going to say everything in our game plan, but biggest thing is the Lange kid, number 1. If there's a better freshman in the state, especially long term, I know his dad, Dan Lange, finished runner-up for Mr. Basketball, and I don't know all the freshmen off the top of my head, but if he's not Mr. Basketball or right there top 2 by the end of the day, when he's a senior, then I'll be absolutely shocked as well. But in addition to him, they kind of went to him a lot in the postseason, but they got great guard play. They're very quick. They get to the rim very well, and they're very disciplined. Their coach, from what I've seen on film, they got the best help side defense there is that I've seen on film. And it ain't so much the help side, but when they help, they really help the next guy. Biggest thing, we're going to have to be able to hit shots, hit threes on the backside. That's one of the biggest things. And then transition defense, I don't care who we play. I always harp on transition defense is the biggest thing. But if we can defend and rebound like we did in the regional tournament, I think we'll be able to, at least have a shot to win at the end.
Sure. First appearance for your program since 2009. What's the reception been in the community so far?
It's been crazy. I think we was 32-1 and lost in the regional title in 2017. But this go around, it's been a lot more. We had good crowd support then, but right now, it's been a lot better. It's been just the whole school and everything. We went through some stuff during the season, but that kind of rallied the community as well. But just the way they've supported, we walked in the gym 50 minutes before the regional tournament, and our whole side was sold out. So you look on the Ticketmaster, I think we have a pretty good following coming to Rupp Arena on Wednesday night, and I know Marshall County will as well. So we'll probably be 2 of the 3 or 4 most attended schools up there.
Very strong. Floor is open. Media, help yourself to unmute and ask any questions you might have. Coach, how many of your kids will be at Rupp Arena for the first time, whether as a fan, obviously as a participant, but how many of them have never been there, period?
I think a few of us probably been there a few times. I know last year, one of my players, Brayton Coomer, he starts for me. He's a real good baseball player as well, one of the top juniors in the state baseball. But we were sitting there watching the E-Town. We played E-Town closer than anyone did in the region last year. We was watching E-Town play McCracken last year, and he just so happy. That was his first time there, but he looked at me then and said, "We'll be playing in this next year." So I kind of reminded him of that before the regional finals. I had a couple things to tell him, and that was one that he did say we would be there next year. And he had a good game against North Hardin in the semis as well as the championship against Bethlehem.
Hey, Coach, I know if you win, there's a possibility you might be able to play Lyon County. I know you played them earlier this season. Just your thoughts on Travis Perry and him being named Mr. Basketball the other night.
Well, that was kind of a no-brainer. I'd like to know the final numbers on that, because he would probably – we're willing to guess he probably won the Mr. Basketball by maybe the most amount, in history. If not, we played Lyon County actually in the summer at Collins, and then we played it again in the regular season. We have played 3 state tournament teams this year. We kind of went 0-3, but Lyon County, they did beat us pretty good. We was up 2 at the end of the first quarter against Lyon, and then we was actually up 1 with about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter down there on their senior night, and then it just kind of went to pieces, and then we had a couple things happen in the second half. Where they ended up actually beating us 50 points. So, we'd love to be able to get the opportunity to play them again in Lexington. But again, Marshall County is our focus right now. One of us will probably get to, unless Ashland could upset Lyon County. In my opinion, going in, Lyon County is probably the favorite to win the state with Travis Perry. He's just a phenomenal shooter. Just, as Coach Miller was talking about, Ty Price doesn't get tired. Travis has to be in unbelievable shape too, because he just comes off screen after screen after screen and never stops moving. He sees 1 and 2 guys as well all the time. And then, they also got other great players around him.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Coach? I know we've taken up a lot of his time already today. I'll let you get on your way unless anyone has anything else for you. All right, Coach. Thank you for your time today, and best of luck this week.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're a little early, but I know he's on the call already, so we can go ahead and get started with the champions of Region 4, Warren Central, Coach Unseld. Coach, if you want to go ahead and start off with an opening statement.
Just excited to be back. It never gets old going to Rupp Arena. I told the kids this would be the best one out of all of them, with everything we went through this year with injuries and getting kids eligible, and just we didn't have guys until we started out 1-5. So to be able to still get it done was a great feeling.
Coach, obviously a lot of success in recent years, and you're the defending state champions. What does that add this year going in?
Oh man, it's special, but having a guy like Cade who's been there and helped those guys that haven't been there before. We lost our top 7 guys. 7 of our top guys last year, and only really returned Cade. Caden Hammer also played a little bit in the state tournament last year, was in the rotation, but didn't play a whole lot because of those other guys. But outside of those 2, we really don't have anybody who played much last year. So, it was great to be able to lead the guys back. And like I said, we started out 1-5, and we end up 17-11. So I always told them, I said, don't worry about it early. We'll be pretty good late. Let's get healthy. And, even when Cade came back from injury in January, most people don't know he only could play 16 minutes a game and couldn't play back-to-back. So we go lose to a Christian County by 1 down there, where we actually shot 2 free throws and win the game and missed both of them. Then lose to an E-Town team that if we had him, we win both of those games. We think we lost by 3. And then our rest of our losses since then have been to Bowling Green 3 times, Lexington Catholic, And you know, we were battle tested, that's for sure.
Bowling Green 3 times, but not a fourth, I guess.
That's right.
Talk about the region championship a little bit.
Well, you know, it's one of those deals where you know you go in a year and you say, okay, how many times can we beat them? So we played them really tight the first 2 times, and that's with Cade playing limited minutes. And but after watching, I said, I think I only can beat them once. I don't know if we can beat them multiple times. So we played in a district championship game, and we subbed freely and just, you know, just like I said, we didn't want to put all our eggs in that basket. So we subbed freely and just really played an open gym game that game and just go play. And I think people saw that score and go, oh, wow, they beat them 20. They're going, well, we really didn't do anything. You know, we had some guys banged up from the first district game. So we were subbing in and out. And I actually tried to get some of them not to play that game because we were beat up. But to their credit, they wanted to play. So, you know, we knew, and even after that game, it was like, okay, we could win the next one. We got to play it our way, but we can win the next one. We couldn't get in a foot race with those guys this year. So we had to, like I told the guys, I said, we needed to be a heavyweight fight with a bunch of body blows early and wear them down late. And that's kind of what happened. We got in that 4th quarter, held them to 3 points, and then got in overtime and did a really good job of closing it out.
Coach, looking ahead, can you talk about your first round matchup a little bit? How much have you got to look at Harlan County so far?
Yeah, a lot. You know, really good. Trent Noah's a special talent. Maddox Huff's a special talent. They got really good players. Not very deep. Play five guys. I'd say like a spade 10, 5.5. You know, they play 5 guys and a sub sometimes, but those guys are really good. You know, it's gonna be a tough game for us, but we can win it. You know, we can win it. We got to play a great game. Like I said, Trent's special, and I can't wait to root for him. He's going to play for my Gamecock, so can't wait to root for him after Thursday. But no, we just got to do what we've been doing: be physical, rebound the basketball, and play defense. And at some point, the shots will fall for us.
Coach, when you say Trent's a special talent,
yeah.
What does he do that makes you say that? Because you've seen a few pretty talented players in your day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with his size and the way he can shoot the ball and his approach, he's a heck of a basketball player. You know, you got some guys who are great athletes, and Trent's a good athlete, but he's a great basketball player. He can really pass it, he can dribble it, he can shoot it. And to be 6'7", 200+ pounds, and to do all those things, he's super versatile. So it's a hard matchup. It's a hard, especially in high school in Kentucky, it's not many 6'7", 210-pound guards. So it's a hard matchup. You just got to figure that out. He puts so much pressure on you, but he's not by himself. He have guys who can make shots. So it's hard to just key on him because those other guys can make shots and they can beat you.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Coach, scouting report on your team this week a little bit. Don't give away anything, but what do you all need to do to have success?
Keep moving the ball offensively like we've been doing late in the year. Just compete. You know, we're a big team. We got a bit one of my bigger teams. Usually I'm a team full of guards. It's opposite now. So we don't play as fast as we have in the years prior, but we still have Cade. And he's getting healthier. He's not 100%, but he's getting healthier. He had a great region championship game. He's a great leader as well. Elijah Starks had a great season. I mean, but for us, it's about rebounding and defense. Man, we're physical, we're big. We got to rebound the ball, and we got to move the ball. You know, if we try to get in a foot race with a lot of teams, that's not to our advantage. So we got to move the ball and play a little slower than usual. But, you know, I told my coaches it's been fun to play a different style, a different approach, and, you know, and have to adjust to what we have this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, last questions for Coach. Otherwise, we'll let him get back to work today. All right, Coach. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Best of luck this week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Go ahead.
All right. Next up, a little early, but I know he's on the call. So, Region 3 champion from Butler County, head coach Calvin Dockery. Coach, if you don't mind, opening statement about your team.
We're really excited about this opportunity. Obviously, you know, we've worked really hard to have this chance. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. But yeah, we're just looking forward to this. We've worked really hard. Really proud of our guys. Proud of our community. Looking forward to be able to play on this stage against a really good team.
Hey, Calvin, I've not had a chance to see Ty in person. I've heard so many really good things about him. Can you just kind of describe a little bit about him and what makes him so good and what people are going to get a chance to see if they hadn't seen him before?
Well, I mean, the numbers that he put up, they're really obvious. But what people don't see is how much time that he spends in the gym working every day. I mean, he is probably the hardest working kid that I have ever been around. He wants to excel. He wants to do good. He works on ball handling. He works on shooting. He works on getting his shots. So the things that people see in a game are things that he works on every single day. Just a great kid, high character kid. Great support staff, and you really couldn't ask for anything better from a high school basketball player.
Is there one particular thing about his game that just stands out above everything else to you?
And he's just an incredible shooter. And I think, I think Coach Miller kind of hit it on the head whenever he was talking about him. He can create his own shot. So, if you need a bucket, man, he finds a way to go get you a bucket. I mean, that's just something he's done for us all year long.
Coach, first state tournament appearance for your program. What does it mean for you guys? What's the reaction been like in the community?
The community's been just amazing. I've been overwhelmed by everything that has taken place. From T-shirts to feeding us, just to telling us how proud they are of us, to showing up. We played the regional tournament in the Sports Center. It holds about 5,500, and I think we had a little over 4,000 people there filling that place up. So it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing experience. No doubt, it's going to be one of those things that our kids are going to remember forever. But we think we're going to have a good show, at Rupp as well, as far as our fans are concerned. But yeah, it's just been amazing, a whirlwind, so to speak. And we're just glad that we get the opportunity to come and showcase these kids on this stage.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're certainly welcome to bring all 4,000 to Rupp if you'd like to. We wouldn't complain about that. Preview your first round matchup a little bit, if you don't mind.
Evangel Christian, very experienced group, a lot of talent on that team. Guys that are going to play a lot of college basketball. There's no doubt about that. They have good size at every position, shoot the ball well, get to the hole well, they rebound well. It's really going to be a task for us to come and to try to shut them down defensively, because they have so many weapons and so many guys that, just great competitors. They're very well coached. They go about their business, and I've seen them play in person once this year, and obviously we've watched a lot of film on them. But I've just been very impressed with the way that they go about their business and what they do.
Mm-hmm. What are some keys for you all to have some success this week? What do you need to do to advance in this tournament?
Well, I think pretty much any coach will tell you, we all need our defense to be the best that it's been all year. We focused on that consistently, through the last half of the year, and we need to execute offensively at a high level. But we're much better whenever we're able to get out and run and transition and play our style. But one thing that I think, maybe that kind of gets overlooked a little bit here down the last few weeks is that if we have to slow down and we have to run a half-court game, we can be very efficient there as well. So we just have to try to be who we are and not try to change things up and do things that we're not used to, and try to be as consistent as we possibly can be. I think if we can do that, I think we have a really good chance to win against a very good team. But it's going to take a little work, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. What's the schedule look like leading up to Lexington? I mean, big pep rally, big send-off coming?
Yeah, we're actually going to tour through the schools a little bit tomorrow. Get a chance to be around the elementary school kids, and our guys have been so good with the youth of our community. It's just a blessing to watch them interact with them. And so tomorrow we'll give them that opportunity to do that as well. And the pep rallies and things like that, those things are there too. They're good for the kids, but We're going to head out Wednesday morning, and we're going to come up and watch some games on Wednesday, and have a practice at Transy on Wednesday, and then hopefully we're just looking forward to the opportunity Thursday morning to be able to get out there and play some basketball.
Absolutely. Open for any last questions for Coach. Otherwise, we'll send you on your way and let you get back to it. Going once. All right, Coach. Best of luck to you and your team this coming week.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. All right, everyone. The next coach is not scheduled to be on until 3:20, so we might pause and take a quick break, give him some time to join us here. All right, I see we got Coach Perry joining us now. We're a little bit early, but Coach, we're ready for you if you are. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to unmute and then go ahead and get us started with kind of an opening statement about your team.
Yes, sir. We're super excited about coming up and playing. Got a veteran-led team kind of this year. We've been there the last couple of years and got several seniors that have, and actually several sophomores that have had a lot of time in the state tournament. So we're excited about the possibility of coming up there and playing well. We're humbled by the opportunity, but we're really looking forward to it a lot. We've had a good season. I think we're 32-3 on the year. Had some good wins. Team, I think we've gotten better as the season has gone on, which is what you always want to see. So, we're proud of the guys, excited for what they've accomplished, and ready to get up to Lexington to Rupp and play this week.
Coach, you mentioned your veteran team, a little bit of experience up at Rupp. What can you all take from that and learn from that and maybe improve off this year, that experience?
I think the thing in the beginning, like as soon as we lost last year to GRC in the final 8, like those guys were heartbroken in the locker room, and kind of 2 years in a row in the same spot. So, I think they've been really hungry all year about the opportunity to get up there and go further. And I think their goal, obviously, every team's goal is to win a state championship and end your season with a win at Rupp Arena. So, they've got lots of good experience playing in that environment. Played a really, really tough schedule this year that I think, maybe even more than the years past has us prepared for what we're going to see when you get to the Sweet 16. But, I think that leadership of, having maybe 3 of your 5 key guys that are seniors that have been there and, are resilient, maybe a little bit more resilient and those kind of things, that I think it helped us win some tough games in our regional tournament this year. I think that really paid off, and so we're really hoping that those guys can keep leading the way for us, through the state tournament. But we've got some sophomore guys that have really stepped up and really made an impact this year in some of those other spots and roles, and we're really excited about what they're doing at this point in the season. So we're excited. We're excited about how we're playing right now.
Ryan, coming into the state last year, there was a lot of focus on you guys, obviously, but then Travis was also chasing that record. Now, that record's been gone. Mr. Basketball's out of the way. Is there any less maybe kind of pressure on him? Can he maybe just relax and enjoy this one a little more, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think ever since all 3 of those guys have gotten signed with their colleges and kind of got done with, well, one of those is fixing to reopen because of a coaching change. But I feel like the pressure of that, once those guys were done with that, I really kind of felt like it was lifted from our team. But Travis specifically, he's a kid who doesn't show a lot of emotion at all. Like he's very, very level-headed, and I don't think no personal accolades have ever been in Travis's mind. Like he's not wired that way. Like I tell him all the time that if I were him in an 18-year-old body, I wouldn't be able to walk through the door because my head would be so big. But he's the exact opposite of that. So like, I mean, honestly, his driving force, I've heard him say it several times to several media outlets, but he's got to ride home from the games with me and live with me at the end of the day. And so he wants to make sure we always score one more point than the other team, just because, he wants it to be a better night and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of truth to that, but definitely like the worry about Mr. Basketball and, all the talk about the record last year and all that kind of stuff. I definitely think that, that was always out there and you always heard it and you always got asked questions about it. But so there's no doubt that it's got to be a little bit lifted off of him. I just don't think it's a huge deal because he just never was so very focused on individual accolades or anything like that. But I mean, we all know that, with that stuff behind you, like it's just going and playing basketball and having fun now and all that kind of stuff. So, hopefully I'm wrong and it's a huge weight lifted off his shoulder. I think he's our guy. It's so hard to get through regional tournaments and get to the state tournament and make a run at the state tournament. Like when you got guys that want to win the state championship so bad, like they internally put pressure on themselves every game because, if you have a bad shooting game or somebody else has just an amazing shooting game that you're playing against, that night can be the last night. So, there's intrinsic pressure just because of the nature of the situation. But, I'm really hoping that, our guys come up there this week and they can smile and enjoy being on Rupp and enjoy the atmosphere and enjoy all of Lyon County that's going to be there cheering them on and just have a really special week. We're excited about it.
Coach, preview your first round matchup a little bit.
Yeah, we got Ashland Blazer in the first game. Very physical team. Really, I mean, they're a really good team. I've been watching a lot of film on them the last several days. Xander Carter's a great player for them. He's committed to Liberty. Really, really good basketball player. They've got a bunch of good basketball players, but they're a really physical team that I think is gonna use their physicality, their strength in that game with us. They like to get up and down the court a lot like we do. Like we like to play really, really fast. I don't think they mind to get up and down the court and go. I could be wrong. They may try to slow the game down, but I think they're pretty comfortable getting up and down and going. They like to shoot the three. They shoot it pretty well. I think honestly, it's got the makings to be a really, really good basketball game, like a fast-paced game with a lot of shots going up, and I think the fans could really enjoy the game because I think it's going to be a really game. But it's a pretty good Ashland Blazer team. They're really, really well coached. They run really good sets. They're really disciplined. They've got good players and good coaches, and they've got a good scheme. Every time they roll out there on the court, you can tell that they're very, very well prepared. So I think it's going to be a tough game on Wednesday. We're gonna go into it and not change a lot of stuff. Our motto all year has been we're just going to play our game and be us. We hope that that's enough to win at the end of the day. And so far this season, for 32 games, it has been enough. So we're gonna attack it the same way. But it's going to be a big challenge. This Ashland Blazer team, they're used to being here. 5 or 6 years in a row, they've been at the state tournament. So it's nothing new to these guys. They know exactly what they're coming to get into, and they're going to be very well prepared. I think it's going to be a really tough game.
Ryan, is it different for your guys going in this year as one of the favorites to win it all versus just maybe kind of being there before and hoping to be that favorite?
Larry, I think so. Honestly, like I've told several people, it does feel a little different this year going into it than it has in the past. Not that I feel like we were just lucky to be there or just excited to be there. Obviously, the first year we were excited to be there. Like we were excited about the opportunity to go, and who knows if we ever get to go do it again. But last year we felt like we had a good enough team to make it to the state championship game against Warren Central. I wasn't sure we could beat Warren Central. Warren Central was just a 5-headed monster last year. Like we would have had to have a crazy good shooting game to be able to beat them. But I felt like we were good enough to get to the state title game and play against them. And obviously we fell 4 points short to GRC in that game. But I feel like this year going up there, like the experience and the resiliency that our kids have shown this year and the way that they've been able to navigate through the schedule we put before them, it feels a little different coming up this year. Like maybe our guys and our county and our people feel like, maybe we're going up there with a little different purpose this year. And, that mindset is contagious. And, I think I kind of feel that a little bit. Not that I think we're really good or better than anybody else. I just think that we're going up there with a little bit more confidence than we've had in the past, that we already know that we can compete with all these teams because we've played a bunch of these teams, and we've played, a bunch of state champion teams from other schools earlier in the year at the City of Palms and places like that. So, I don't think we're going to walk into anything that we haven't seen or that we're going to be scared of or anything like that. So it does feel a little different this year. I do think so, yes.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach, if not, I certainly appreciate your time and best of luck to you guys this week.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. And with that, I think we do have the Region 1 champion is on this call now, Marshall County, Coach Sawyer Donahue. I don't mind if you can unmute and maybe turn your camera on, Coach.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Coach. How you
Okay,
doing?
awesome.
All right. Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us. We're a little early here, but we'll get you on and get you going so you can get on with the rest of your day. If you don't mind, go ahead and maybe just an opening statement. Tell us a little bit about your team.
Sure, yeah. So Sawyer Donahue, head coach of Marshall County Marshals here in Region 1. We are coming off a pretty solid year. We went 25-7, very competitive region, and really a very competitive district for us, having to get past Murray and Callaway, and been playing well lately. And kind of same as probably everybody else, had a little up and down season, but we finished strong, and we had a kind of a skid back in early February, mid-February, and since then we've kind of bounced back and made a strong push here down the stretch.
Okay. First state appearance since 2012. I know you all have a very big and passionate fan base. What's the reaction been like so far?
It's been great. Hard to describe, hard to put into words. I've always said there, as being a player here a long time ago now, but it's a special place. They're basketball crazy, and which is a great thing. So we're ready to go. Happy to be back. Excited about the experience and getting back up there.
Sure. Preview your first round matchup a little bit.
Yeah, so we have Adair County first round, Region 5, and what I've been able to see of Adair so far, it's going to be a challenge for us. They like to play fast and do a lot of trapping and run and jump type man-to-man press and 1-2-2 in the half court. Play a lot of defenses. So for us, we've got to really take care of the basketball. It's something that at certain points in the season we've struggled to do, but we got tested with that a lot lately and have handled that pretty well. I think the bigger floor, helps us a little bit. So, we're looking forward to that challenge, but certainly a team that, the Loy kid and the Cochran kid are both very talented players. And then they have some good size inside with the Coomer kid who can post. And so they have a lot of weapons and some potential matchup problems for us.
Gotcha. You mentioned limiting turnovers. What are the other things that you all need to do to have some success this week?
Well, I think rebounding would be the big thing. And that's something we've done very well this season. We've only had 4 or 5 games where we've been out rebounded, but that's a big key. They have some size, and that's something that we'll have to, especially with the amount of threes and the offense that they play. We'll have to track down guys to box them out and really control the glass. I think that other than taking care of the basketball, I think that's the second biggest key for us as far as trying to win that game.
Coach, Joe mentioned that it's been quite a while since Marshall's made it. A new stage for your whole team, but you also have some pretty young guys. Matthew Lange, a freshman in general, this in specific. How do you feel that the young bunch is going to handle the big stage like this?
To be honest with you, I feel pretty good about it. We for a lot of them, Matthew in particular, it was kind of a new experience, just that district tournament and that regional tournament atmosphere and environment. So I think the state tournament, there may be some butterflies, I'm sure, some nervousness, but hopefully we can get that out of the way in warm-ups and be ready to go come tip-off.
You mentioned the ringer that you had to go through in the first region and the 4th district alone. How do you feel that bodes for you with the potential ringer up ahead?
Well, I feel like we're battle tested. We've played, in my opinion, a very challenging schedule. And just kind of, we had to run the gauntlet of District 4 and then the first region. You had, in my opinion, 6 or 7 teams that could have won the region. And we had to battle through that and kind of test ourselves. But it's something that our schedule kind of prepared us for.
Coach, you guys play Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. What's the next 48 hours look like for your team?
Well, we're getting ready to practice in the next 20 minutes or so. So hopefully we'll have a good practice. Tomorrow we've got a big pep rally in the morning and sending off, coming up that way after that. And then we'll get up there and have a shoot around and a practice and go from there.
All right, Coach. Well, I don't want to keep you from practice. Certainly appreciate your time today. Best of luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, take care.